Hey guys, what's up? It's Jay, and hey, what's up? You know the fall lineup of games is almost over now, and that means VGA is coming up. And next year, lineup of games coming up, which means Mass Effect 3 is that much closer to our hearts. So, before I get into fangirlness, yeah, let's go into the game of the year, which I feel should be talked about. Because VGAs, as you know, is this thing that gets put out there, they got world premieres, and the horribly acted skits, and the out-of-place musical performances. The one thing we all care about for real is the game of the year. So let's talk about that. If you guys have been around for a while, you know that my nominations for Game of the Year are only 3 because I don't have a Sony PS3 or I have a Wii but I don't play it very often. So my Game of the Years are actually going to be games that are multi-plat or 360 exclusives. Multi-plat for the most part though. So let's get into it. My Game of the Year nominations are LA Noire, Deus Ex Human Revolution, and Batman Arkham City. Everything else was like, this is good, it's not that great, but those 3 games stood out the most to me. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick little reasoning of why I think these games are Game of the Year for each one. So let's start off with LA Noire, which I can say was the most perfect example of taking a point in time and redoing it to where it seemed very authentic. Everything seemed like it was in place, the music, the theatrics, the cars, the speech, the things going on. Everything was just theatrical wise and appearance wise, it was amazing. Soundtrack to that game was awesome. First of all, if you don't know me, I'm a huge soundtrack person. I have soundtracks to video games and movies all over the place. So soundtracks and theatrics to me are big, like not the biggest things, but like kind of like they're up there. So LA Noire did amazing with that. So that was part 1. The other part of why that game is amazing because the story and the way the gameplay is executed is extremely well. I mean, because there's so many games that claim to be the detective, but they never really gave you the idea that you're the detective and you figure this out yourself. And in that game, you have so many options where you do an assignment or whatever, and you're interrogating somebody. And there's so many ways that conversation could go down because of the way you pick your response to what they're doing or what they're saying, and you choose to believe them or choose not to believe them. And it's actually a certain assignment in that game where if you pick the wrong thing, you can frame someone and it's not the right person. Of course, it is a lot more to the story, but I just think it's amazing how so many games try to do the thing where you have so many options, but they don't really give you options. It's more of like a misdirected 2 ways to try to make it like it's 50, but it's just 2. But in that game, it really does kind of let you see there's other ways this game could go, you know? So, yeah. And the ending for that game was very realistic. I mean, a lot of people were upset because it was kind of like, here you go, it's realism on the plate. But if you think about it, it was very fitting for the game. It was very realistic. It was very like heartfelt, and it was an amazing game all around. So, I loved it. You should go pick it up. If you have not picked that up, you should really go pick it up. And it's really weird because it's one of the games that are kind of like, I didn't really hear about it very often. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't really like get interested into it until people told me about it. So, yeah, it's one of those games that kind of like passed me by, and I didn't get it until like a week after it came out. Next game is Deus Ex Human Revolution, and also this is a game that I didn't hear much about at all. It was kind of one of those games that's word of mouth. I didn't hear a whole lot of hype about it. It wasn't a whole lot of news about it. It was kind of like this game like people, I mean, because I think I heard about it because a friend was saying he was gonna pick it up, and I was like, what is that? That's like, what is Deus, blah 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 blah. So he told me about it, and it was like it was supposed to be a prequel-ish game to another game that came out that wasn't that great, so that's all people know about it. So I picked it up, and of course at first I was like, this is blah blah blah. Of course it's one of those games you pick up. Of course when you first start playing, it's like, I don't really see the big appeal here. But when you start really getting into the story and starting exploring around, you immediately understand that this is just awesomeness everywhere. It's just I don't know what to do with my hands. But it's like LA Noire gives you choices in the way you handle situations and the way you deal with the end of the game. The actual end of the game has 3 different endings. Well, actually 4 different endings, I think it is. 4. Yeah, 4 different endings. And they're not these huge theatrical things, but they really do provoke thought in you. It makes you really think. It makes you wonder about the situation in the game as well as the situation in the real world. And I love anything that makes me think outside of the game, kind of like breaks the fourth wall a little bit to make you kind of sit back and be like, whoa, this is kind of serious. Because the game, the story is crazy. I think I actually had a video talking about this, so you should go check it out. I'll leave it in the description or probably an annotation because it's too much stuff in the description already. So Go check that out. Also, The Truth, if you knew him, he did a video about my video, so go check that out as well. So last game would be Batman Arkham City, and I am pretty much a Batman fangirl. If Batman was real, I'd be all over that. You mean, don't even know. I would. So, of course, first thing I like to point out once again is soundtrack, as well as the theatrical soundtrack and the kind of mainstream soundtracks. And Batman games do that every now and then. They'll have the actual soundtracks of the game, theatrical one where the background music, and then have one that's done by mainstream artists, which is kind of like, but this one was actually really, really good. I'll leave the links down below. Cohit and Cambria, their song was amazing. Crosses, all those songs are amazing. You go check them out because they're really good songs. Aside from that though, Batman Arkham City is just amazing. That's how sequels should be done. Because if you played Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, it's very, very immersive. It's so much there in that world. It's hard to even figure out where everything is. Because it actually is like you're in Batman's universe. I mean, all these villains are here. It's all these cameos, all these clues that lead you to other cameos, and it's so much stuff in that game. It's hard to like get 100% because it's just But I gotta stop doing that. I don't know what this is. But of course, the story in Arkham City is, I mean, that's when it comes down to that's how a sequel should be done. It picks up after the events of Arkham Asylum. And of course, I mean, like a sequel should be done. It isn't like everything's just gone back to Half Merry Fun Time Land. Nothing's really helped anything. Batman's gone to this place and he realized that something was wrong and he messed something up. He had to go back in and fix it. And then it really deals with one of those things people wonder a lot when you watch Batman. And it's the fact that is it really Batman helping anyone, or is he actually hindering the city because these villains exist because he exists? And the way that game ended, the plot twist at the end, was insane. And it was just, oh my god, it's amazing. But once again, if you're a Batman fan in general, you should play that game. If you played Arkham Asylum, you should totally go play that game. It's just amazing. Soundtrack's amazing, story's amazing, graphics are amazing in all these games. It's just, those are my three things: graphics, story, music, like soundtrack, theatrics, or whatever. And all three of those games got hit all of them the nail on the head. So, in the meantime, I want to hear about you guys. What do you guys think for the game of the year? If you have the same nominations as me, or you have the same ones in mind as me, go ahead and tell me why you have those games in mind. Of course, I'm horrible at deciding things, so I'm probably not going to pick a game of the year because those three are like the top in my mind, but we'll see. As far as the VGAs go, it's going to be a very painful experience like it is every other year, so why not share that experience together? So if you want to be around, I may be on Ustream, I may be on Twitter. I have not decided yet, so go ahead and tell me what you think we should do. We can go on Ustream and talk and share our opinions of what's going on while watching the VGAs. So I'm probably going to be at home doing nothing like I am every year. Here's a video I want to give a shout out to. A friend of mine, UK, he did a video called the Flops of 2011, so you should go check that out because it should be a category in the VGAs. The games that came out were overly hyped, were not that great, so you should go check the video out. It's down in the description or annotation, probably both of them because I'm just repetitive like that. So yeah, get on that stuff. That's about all. If you follow my blog, you know I put up some posts the other day. It's probably going to be like a weird personal thing that I kind of talk about other crap on. So if you want to check that out, go check down here as well. I will see you guys later. Bye! I don't know why I say bye like that because I have to sing everything. That's enough for this video because I'm really tone deaf. Bye. Bye guys.